Hello and welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be doing a quick little conversation about Of Mice and Men's brand new album Tether. I haven't had much attention to the actual videos themselves, they're probably getting 30 views or anything, so I'm not expecting too much of engagement or too much views on this one either, but I felt like I needed to do this because I said I was going to do it, and it's going to make me re-evaluate how I do album reviews in the future, seeing as the last couple I've done haven't really taken off or haven't really got a lot of attention, apart from the ones where people have requested me to do it. I don't want to spend too long doing videos that no one wants to watch, basically. Still wanted to do this one just to talk about where I kind of sit with it. First time I listened to the actual album was on Sunday, which would have been the 8th of October. At the moment, when I get a brand new album to listen to, I go out and I put it on when I'm going for a 5k run. That 5k run was completely rubbish, and the whole time I didn't focus on the music at all because I just was focusing on how was. I've listened to the album a couple more times since then, and since doing that, I feel like the album as a whole has kind of grown on me. When listening to it on the first reaction or the first listen, I just thought it was a bit okay. It was good. It didn't blow me away. There wasn't any really standout songs that I hadn't already heard. Nothing bad to say about it, but there's nothing to kind of make it stand out album of the year or really good, oh my god, they've done amazing on this. That's how I first looked at it, and I'm glad I've taken some time to kind of listen to it a little bit more, put it on shuffle, let the songs just play whenever they come on or whatever, and it's changed my opinion a little bit, definitely grown on me basically. And the actual album itself is very still unique. It's something I don't think Of Mice and Men have done before. It's definitely a lot calmer. It's definitely a lot more kind of tranquil, a little bit more kind of, I don't know, vibey, chill, kind of relaxed approach to kind of metalcore music. In fact, I think one of the heaviest songs on there, which is Warpaint, which was the first single that we got out, is still not one of my favorite songs, and that's okay because I actually preferred all the other kind of softer songs in that album. When we got Integration straight from the off, that was quite heavy, but the chorus was really nice and soothing. The electronic elements, the synth in it, two-step beats coming along throughout this throughout the album. I really liked the reverb vocals throughout every single song. Now, I'm not saying that every song was similar, but I don't really have too many that I believe really stood out for me. I think my favorite one is Castaway. That proves that this album wasn't a ridiculously heavy one, but that didn't matter because I enjoyed the songs which weren't particularly heavy anyway. The actual self-titled Tether song was actually really good, and it does come across really emotional to me. I think it's supposed to be more of a confidence boost to listen to, but when I was running and I was failing, it just got me even more depressed, to be honest. But since listening to it, I've looked at it in a different way. I've reacted to it in a different way, and yeah, I actually quite like that one. I'm gonna have to look at the other ones which are on my phone because I'm not going to be able to pronounce them, but the last song on the album, Zephyros, let's just say, one of them two, I really liked that. That was really a good song. So having such a strong ending was really cool. Indigo, I slagged it off a couple of times. I don't know why, because I thought it was going to be a bit of a filler song, but I feel like the whole album itself is a filler album. I don't think it stands out as an album you have to listen to, but it is an album to just put on. There's no pressure to it. You don't have to be so ingrained and kind of involved in the album. You can just put it on, have it on in the background, do whatever you're doing. You don't need to focus on it. You just know that you're going to be getting some kind of occasional heavy riffs that you can kind of get into, but at the same time, it's still quite relaxing. It's still nice to listen to as clean vocals as well, and then all the different unique elements that they've added into this. Into the Sun, it's something that I thought might have been a fan favourite, and you'll have to let me know if you think that. But yeah, it sat pretty good in the album as well. Castaway, as I've previously said as well, sat well. The other songs, they didn't really stand out too much. They sounded good, but they didn't have any sort of star power to kind of bring the album up more. The best way I can put this is I listened to the entire album, I enjoyed it, I liked it, and once I listened to the actual album, Obsolete came up on a random shuffle for me, and I thought, this is the Of Mice and Men song that I want to kind of listen to. This is the Of Mice and Men song that stands out. I can't tell you if Obsolete came out of any other songs at the same time. I can't tell you if it was on a certain album. Can't tell you any of that. But I just know that that song, I like that song. That's a good Of Mice and Men song. It goes above quite a lot God, it's hard to say. A lot of other Of Mice and Men songs and albums that I've kind of listened to. I've been honest and I've said that how I didn't listen to a lot of Mice and Men after Austin left. I think the last one I listened to was like Restoring Force. So there's been a couple of albums since then and I've gone back and listened to them and like they were good, but they weren't bringing the nostalgia and bringing the love I had for this band back, apart from the occasional song which I thought was like, oh my god, this is amazing, like Obsolete, for example. I've probably rambled on there a little bit too long, but I like the album. It's good. It's a good filler album. It's nice and fresh. It's different from what they've done before. I like the alternative elements that they've gone with, and that stands out to me, but it's not like I'm not raving about it, if you know what I mean. Favorite thing about it is the new elements they've put in it. You'll get probably a couple of people who will just completely slag it off. You'll get some people who'll see it as like a trailblazer, who'll go, oh, this was amazing. But for me personally, I was hoping for a little bit more like, wow, hopefully these singles are just bringing us to like the best songs on the album. And in reality, we probably got some of the best songs or the variety of songs already before the album came out. But as I said, it's definitely a grower of an album, so I could think differently. I could listen to a couple more songs on repeat and think, actually, you know what, that one does stand out to me a lot more. Like, for example, Eternal Pessimist. I can't tell you much about the song. I can't remember much about the song, but I remember that when I listened to it, I did actually go and go, oh, Eternal Pessimist, that's a cool one. I'll remember that. So yeah, I've got to spend more time with it. Let me know what you thought about this down below if anyone is watching it. I don't know how many people will watch it, but yeah, felt like I needed to do it anyway. For my own sake, I feel like I'm giving up on the project halfway through. So if you have watched this, I kindly appreciate like a like and a comment. Let me know what you think. Even if you think I'm totally wrong in my whole assessment of it, tell me why I'm wrong, because I'm open to criticism. I'm open to going back and thinking, actually, you know what? This person was right about what they said. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, as I said. And I'll see you in the next video real soon. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Anyone who's watching it, I'm going to possibly do another Beartooth album review for the surfacing or the surf, whatever.